Consumerism, we already have discussed. Consumerism is not about that. Consumerism, as we all have understood earlier, that people want better and more for their lives. And that more and better is the only definition of the consumer, increasing consumerism. But this more and better cannot be translated to healthcare industry because people would not want to eat more medicines or would not want to get more tests done on their body, right? So we are just trying to understand how this consumerism is increasing and how this increased consumerism is changing the healthcare industry. Whenever we discuss about increase of consumerism in health with regards to healthcare, the basic idea that we are required to understand is that consumerism is not about consuming. Consuming in healthcare is about taking care more. So people have started taking more care for their personal safety and body. And this more care is demanding them to keep in constant touch with the healthcare system, to provide them things which are having the lesser side effects, to provide them the medicines or treatment processes which are having longer benefits for their body, right? And this care or this concern towards personal welfare is actually affecting the healthcare industry. Because if I want anything some or something better for me, if I want that my treatment should result in the lasting effects on my body or lasting wellness effect on my body, then the service provider is required to take very good care of it. Then the service provider is required to create an infrastructure wherein the care required or desired by me is delivered to me, right? And this desire of the consumers to have lasting effects from their treatments is actually able to change the healthcare industry. Value-based care is basically an extension of the growing influence of consumerism. Because since consumerism is increasing, because customers or patients want lasting wellness to their body or mind, this lasting wellness is basically gonna be a long time process because you now as a doctor or as a medicine service provider cannot afford a scenario wherein you have prescribed one medicine to a patient and then you can fuck it and let go. It is not that. Now the medicinal services or healthcare services actually are required to go into the product mode. We know there are companies which if you purchase a car or a bike then they offer you a lasting service. It is gonna the warranty is gonna continue for next 5-10 years for some parts. The services free services are gonna continue for next 2-3 years. Then there is some annual maintenance contracts wherein the uh, uh, number of free services are increased. All those things are happening. So in the similar manner, the healthcare industry also is required to provide this continuous value, continuous taking care of the consumer or patient for a longer duration. We if I believe you kids have seen this service provided by the hospitals that if any patient is admitted in any hospital and after getting his discharge, the patient is allowed to have next 2, 3, 4 visits for free, right? So this is one minor thing that I can tell all of you because it is very common. But hospitals have gone even a step further. They have started signing the contracts with the patients. When patient once signed a contract with the hospital, then a hospital is required to the hospital is going to charge some basic money from them from the patient on yearly basis or monthly basis. And then if at any point of time consumer or patient falls sick, then the hospital is required to take care of the patient for either a very reduced or lesser or discounted price or free of cost. So if I as a hospital have signed a contract with you as a patient and you start paying me some 50, 20 or 100 rupees or 500 rupees per month. And after 3, 4, 5 years you fall sick. Then your treatment or basic treatment is my responsibility as a hospital. I'll take care of your treatment for free of cost. Or if not free of cost, then I take 50% price or 25% price. These contracts have started featuring in the healthcare industry. Have you kids seen any of these contracts? Because though the services like after a treatment you are allowed to have a couple of free visits is common. I believe all of you know this. But has anybody seen this kind of contract that where the patient is paying regular money to the hospital and whenever he falls sick, then the hospital is required to take care of the patient for free of cost? Because this part majorly is being handled by the insurance sector. But recently, very recently, hospitals have started taking care of this insurance part also. Technology, we all know, needs no discussion. Decentralization of care, we all know. Multiple specialists are there, the multiple processes are there, the every disease is broken down or fragmented into multiple sections. Each and every section is handled or dealt with by a separate specialist. All these things are happening with the simple intention that customer should feel or patient should feel that yes, he's being properly taken care of by the service provider. And yes, focus is on wellness. And all these things basically have transformed the healthcare industry in such a great manner that because you kids are very very young, that's why I cannot ask this question. But it is, if you can refer to your parents, then you can ask the way hospitals are talking, taking care of their patients now. Is it same as when your parents were young? The hospitals are doing the same, practicing the same things. It is not. The healthcare industry is transforming because yes, now today hospitals are required to take care of the wellness feature or wellness quotient of the patient. The more well patient the hospital is able to claim, the more goodwill it is gonna earn, and that more goodwill is gonna earn the hospital more references. So all these things are basically part of our discussion. This part is over. Are you able to see this slide of mine, operating environment in hospitals? Hello? So I have successfully marked the redundancies for today by looking at the screen. Now let's get back to our discussion. Please tell me, are you kids able to see this slide of mine, operating environment in hospitals, or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Fine. So please, now since you kids are in your fourth semester and that fourth semester is about to end, so this lecture and the next lecture, which is gonna be either the penultimate lecture or ultimate lecture of our this session. हमारा या तो नेक्स्ट लेक्चर लास्ट लेक्चर होगा या इसके अगला वाला लेक्चर लास्ट लेक्चर होगा हमारा सिलेबस खत्म हो जाएगा all we are required to do is handle the answer of matrix. That is the only part which is remaining. And now these last two or three lectures are gonna be are gonna be posing focus on the part that whatever we have learned and are we able to apply that knowledge into understanding the current context, right? In current context, we need to understand the operating environments of the hospital because very soon we are gonna go out there in the market and very soon we are gonna be starting our jobs. And whenever we start our jobs, we actually are gonna become part of this operating environment. So whatever we have learned till now is gonna be applied very soon in the market. If you kids have chosen to join a job, because I am not sure what is happening in your case. Couple of offers I know which you kids have rejected summarily, And I know there was an attempt to provide you some interviews. Again, you kids rejected summarily. So I'm not sure what you kids have decided for your future. But still, I want to believe that you all would go and join a job. And as soon as you join a job, you are going to become the part of that operating environment. And so we are now required to apply our total knowledge. And whatever we have earned in terms of knowledge today is basically able to understand or explain this concept of operating environment to hospitals. So can you please tell me what operating environment is or what operating environment should be? क्या होता है या क्या होना चाहिए बता पाओगे? यस और नो बोल दो बेटा, मैं जल्दी से आगे बढ़ जाऊँ फिर। बताओगे? This is what they are trying to tell us, the healthcare industry environment. Industry is can be categorized in four sections. First is care services and facilities. Second is medical devices and equipment. Third is supplies and manufacturers. And third is, or fourth is medical insurances and medical services or managed care. So these are the four segments of the industry. These four segments all together actually are able to make the operating environment within the hospital. So would you like to contribute anything or I can keep on continuing? बेटा यस नो बोल दो तो मुझे पता चल जाता है कि क्या चाहते हो, मुझे ज्यादा आसानी होती है। बार बार पूछना इसलिए पड़ता है because it is expected that you could would be discussing, you could would be posing questions. Which surprisingly you kids have chosen not to speak a single word. That's why I need to ask whether with every point whether you kids are gonna contribute anything or not. जल्दी बता दो, नहीं करोगे तो कोई 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 नुकसान नहीं है। Because in next 10-15 days it is impossible to change the practice of last 20 years, है ना? तो जो 20 साल से आदत पड़ गई है सब बातों को चुप रह के मान लेना, विच इज वेरी बैड, आई कैन गारंटी यू दैट। और the qualification that you kids have earned requires warrants you to ask questions. You cannot say yes to any and everything. You should not, you must not, again I can guarantee you that। तो क्योंकि बच्चे बोल बहुत कम रहे हैं इसलिए मुझे बारह पूछना पड़ रहा है कि कुछ बता दो, प्लीज बता दो। वो वो एक ईज दे देता है डिस्कशन को कंटिन्यू करने की। Otherwise, me reading out these slides is again a very, very bad type of teaching for master's level, even and for management classes. A teacher reading out these slides is seriously very bad. तो हम तीनों के तीनों काम बहुत ही खराब वाले कर रहे हैं। अब मैं नहीं चाहता हम लोग अपना सेशन इसी खराब तरीके से बात करते हुए खत्म करें। तुम लोगों को थोड़ा थोड़ा बोलना चाहिए, पता नहीं मैं कैसे क्यों नहीं समझा पाए बात तुम लोगों को, लेकिन बोलना तुम लोगों को चाहिए, ये बहुत जरूरी है। बगैर बोले हम लोग सच में अपना अपना फ्यूचर और करियर दोनों खराब कर रहे हैं। तो बोलना जरूर चाहिए लेकिन फिर भी क्या कर सकते हैं। लास्ट की 2 और 3 क्लासेस हैं। अब आई कैन नॉट एक्सपेक्ट और आई मस्ट नॉट एक्सपेक्ट एनीथिंग ड्रामेटिक। सो आई, अगर तुम लोग क्वाइट रखते हो तो ठीक है, आगे बताता हूँ। Operating environment is that environment within the hospital wherein the people, I mean patient, machines, staff, technicians, and service providers, they all interact with one another. Any environment wherein right from patient to machine they start interacting with one another is called as operating environment। तो क्योंकि हॉस्पिटल के अंदर ही पेशेंट मशीन के आसपास आता है, हॉस्पिटल के अंदर ही पेशेंट जो है सर्विस प्रोवाइडर डॉक्टर से और नर्सेस से बात करता है, हॉस्पिटल के अंदर ही पेशेंट को जो टेक्निकल स्टाफ होता है, जो मशीन रन करता है, जो बैंडेज वगैरह करता है, उससे उनकी बातचीत होती है. So wherever any of these four components of any of the environment comes into interaction, gets into touch with one another, is called as operating environment. क्योंकि पेशेंट का मूवमेंट, मशीन का मूवमेंट, स्टाफ का मूवमेंट एंड सर्विस प्रोवाइडर का मूवमेंट, ये सारा का सारा मूवमेंट ही is something which makes the operating environment. Operating is related to operations. Operations is going to include all those four things. ठीक. So first factor is the urbanistic factor. And urbanistic factor basically is nothing, now not rocket science. Urban, with the word urban, we want to mean that yes, anything which is related with more modern form of living. You know, in India, it is very easy for us to look for the traditional form of living and modern form of living. In modern form of living, people are living in flats. People are having the unity families, wherein husband, wife, and kid. In modern families, the availability of time within the family members, even for those two three members of the family, is very very limited. Men in the family work for 8 to 9 hours per day. Women in the family again works for more than 9 to 10 hours per day, because if they are working, then they are devoting 8 9 hours in the office, and then again once they come back, they are taking care of the family chores also, right? So women are working more, not less than 10 hours per day. Men are working not lesser, but at least 8 to 9 hours per day. And then every human body is in desperate requirement of sleeping for at least 6 to 8 hours per day, है ना? तो अगर 9 घंटे हम लोग काम के मान लिए, 8 घंटे सोने के मान लिए, तो रिमेनिंग hours is how much? 9 8 17 17 3 and 4 7 7 hours are remaining. 1 hour is gonna go for traveling. 1 or 2 hours is gonna go for eating, personal hygiene, getting up in the morning, taking care of your teeth, and having a wash. All those things. 2 hours are gonna go in that, and 1 hour for all the fooding activities, taking breakfast, taking lunch, and taking dinners. So 1 hour is gonna go. So only 2 3 hours are available within the family, which is the nuclear family or urbanistic family, and those 2 3 hours they also are at times spending more time with the mobile phones rather than talking with one another. So distances in nuclear families have increased a lot. Even the family members, though the number is very less, 2 or 3, but they are lesser communicative with their immediate closest of the family. In traditional form of families, we know the family sizes were very large. The people were able to take care of one another. People were able to talk, discuss, and even dissipate the tensions prevailing in anybody's mind. Right? They were able to provide better care to the members of the family. If working father and mother are going out of the home, then elders in the family were able to take care of the children. So children were not feeling lonely at any point of time. Senior members of the family were not feeling lonely or rejected at any point of time. Parents were more or less confident while going out of the family, and they were not worried about the wellness of their children at any point of time. So traditional form of families were very very better, and they were having more contact points, and they were having more display points, and they were more open to one another, and they were able to take care of their problems. But since urban city size is increasing very rapidly, even the villages are adopting the urban ways of living. So this urbanistic mindset is actually able to change the hospital environment. Now, if a patient is admitted in a hospital, there was a time when people, when they were admitted in a hospital, there was a place called general ward, wherein everybody and everybody could be admitted. Right now, the urbanistic factors or the urbanistic mindset has given us a contention that whenever we are admitted into a general ward, it simply means we are a poor person. So even though we are in a hospital, we want a private chamber for us, or at least a secluded chamber for us. And when once we have a private chamber for us, then the doctor is gonna come and visit us at certain specified times, and during the entire day, we would not be having access to any of the service providers, neither the nurses nor the doctor. They're gonna be available only at call or any other point of time. Wherein in general wards in earlier times, in every general ward there was 20-25 beds. The relatives of the patients were coming, going, and coming out. They were able to wish one another. They were able to share jokes with one another. Even there were two observers in every general ward. There was a nurse which was required to be seated, remain seated all the time till the time she is on duty. So one observer looking at all those 20 patients every time. Patients coming out were having a discussion amongst themselves, and the relatives of the patients were able to keep the movement going within the ward. So there is no seclusion. But now, if anybody is admitted to a general ward, is considered as a poor person. Anybody who is able to take a private ward is considered as a good or nice or affluent or wealthy person. So this particular thing has actually changed the environment within the hospital. Space availability. This actually has become a very keen contention within the hospitals. We can name even in our city, Guwahati, though is a metropolitan city, is one of the largest, fastest growing city in entire northeast. We have seen multiple surveys happen in last couple of years. Guwahati is having the educational ratios very healthy. People are more educated in this city rather than any other city across the country. We might not be talking about the cities like Kerala where the literacy ratio is very high, but still compare any city across the country, and Guwahati has more number of literate. And the since Guwahati is a metropolitan city, that's why the number of affluent people is also more. Since the number of affluent people is more, that's why they all are able to purchase the space required by them. And since they are able to purchase the space required by them, so that's why they don't want to visit any place wherein either the space is not available or they are unable to purchase the space. And this contagion again has changed the perception or the way hospitals environments are created. Even the smallest things that were never a concern for any healthcare industry or organization some 15-20 years ago is parking. Now people are careful enough to not to go to a hospital wherein adequate parking is not available. People are choosing the hospitals where the adequate parking is available, where the wards are large enough, where even the visiting timings and facilities to the visitors to a patient are adequately enabled. And all those things are in requirement of space, time, and some money. So apart from hospitals investing money in plant technology and machinery, they are required to spend money even on the parking space, even on the bigger wards, even in terms of providing better ventilation and AC system, and even TVs in the wards. The private wards that the people are able to purchase, they want nothing less than at least 4 star or 3 star facilities within the hospital. So a TV has to be there, an AC has to be there. A bed is required to have that much of facility that it can be escalated or de-escalated. It should be able to bend the back. The ward itself must have multiple. The ward must have a private bathroom. All those things are now required. And the hospitals, though they are spending some amount of money in their machine and technology, but they're spending a lot more in terms of creating these spaces to remain competitive in the market. This nursing model you should be able to at least remember for all the times. Nightingale ward is the ward which I told you just now, in which 20-30 beds are there, one nurse is there, one operator is there, and one cleaner is there. These three staffs, who are the service providers, and 20 or 30 beds, is known as Nightingale ward or open ward or general ward, as we all know. In Nightingale wards, the layout can be रिग्स टाइप। यू किड्स नो ना, ये तो तुम लोगों को पढ़ाया गया होगा पहले से बेटा।
जी सर।
और तो फिर मैं क्यों बता रहा हूँ इतनी डिटेल में। तो
मैं मैम ने भी पढ़ाया था।
है बच्चे।
पंपी मैम ने भी पढ़ाया था सर ये।
हाँ हाँ, फिर तो ये आता है बेटा, मैं टाइम क्यों बर्बाद करूंगा। मेरे पास वैसे भी बहुत सारा काम है। Operating theater classifications, you kids know. अच्छा, मुझे बस ना अगर बताना चाहो तो प्लीज इतना बता दो, हाउ दिस जनरल ऑपरेटिंग रूम इज different from the rules for endoscopic procedures. बताओ।
सर मालूम नहीं सर।
यस
Sir, lights are different.
है बेटा।
Sir, lights are different. Light.
Light, मैं बेटा ना, now I am asking this question from the point of view of a common man. Lights are different. I can understand in this regard that for endoscopic procedures there has to be a screen, and in order to view screen properly, you got to have lesser light.
Yes.
And in general operating room, you need more light to be able to see the wound or problem area clearly, right? But in order to
Sir.
run an endoscope, don't we need an adequate light within the room? General operating room might not be in requirement of some screens. Endoscopic
Yes,
rooms
sir.
are in requirement of some screens to be watched or viewed by the doctor, as well as the screen on which the internal inside view of the patient can be shared with the patient itself. Today is the time when people actually are more willing to see what doctor is watching inside their body. So
Yes, sir.
hospitals are required to have multiple screens in which they are actually able to see the internal condition of the body of a patient by the hospital as well as by the patient, or by the doctor as well as by the patient. So, why don't we? Why is it so that endoscopes don't need that much of a light?
So general OT has to be much more clean than endoscope room.
Yes, अरे नहीं बेटा, बिल्कुल नहीं. Cleanliness is one thing which is common to all. Only orthopedic surgery room can be a bit chalk infested, but other rooms, general operating, cardiovascular, and endoscopic, the cleanliness is the utmost necessity. Don't ever use these words that general operating rooms need to be more clean rather than endoscopic rooms. ऐसा मत बोलना बच्चे कभी भी, because a part of machine is going inside your bodies, and there are only two routes to put endoscope into your body. One is at the top of your body, second is at the bottom of your body, right? And if at any point of time any part of the endoscopic room is dust infested, then the patients inside are gonna get infected very fast. So cleanliness is common. Only orthopedic surgery room can have some sort of a neutralized dust or chalk dust, जिससे कि वो प्लास्टर्स बनते हैं. उस डस्ट में भी ज्यादा देर गंदगी नहीं रह सकती है. That dust also has to be very very clean. लेकिन some chalk dust can be there on certain equipments or part of machineries. वो सबका सब साफ होना बहुत जरूरी है, लेकिन for brief time periods it can be there. Otherwise, general operating, cardiovascular, endoscopic, all the rooms are required to be utmost clean. ठीक है. तो खैर
Sir, it will be like this, like different OTs, they will be do a open wound. So, sir, the light is too much important for that, and in endoscopy, they will just see a specific part up to the stomach only.
अरे नहीं बेटा, see, in general operating rooms, the continuation of light is utmost necessity. लाइट वहां पे
Yes,
जितनी देर
sir.
भी जलती रहे, बहुत साफ हो, क्लीन हो और ज्यादा देर तक जल सके. For endoscopic rooms, they are required light, bright light for a brief time period till the time they are putting the endoscope inside your body. As soon as the endoscope is inside your body, they are required to shut down the lights. So the facility of dimming the light and brightening the light is required in endoscopic rooms, and in general operating rooms, the light facility should be constant. There is no regulator required for the light in general operating rooms, but light regulator is required in endoscopic rooms. Got the idea?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Diagnostic facilities. अच्छा, diagnostics होता क्या है? One more time. This is a common man's question. What do we mean by diagnostics?
Sir, finding out a problem.
How? Because if an orthopedic doctor looking at the x-ray or by touching my bone is telling me that my bone is fractured or broken, I need some sort of treatment, is it diagnostic?
Sir, it will be because he have investigated your X-ray, and he found that there is a damage or something for
Absolutely
which you
correct.
required a treatment.
Absolutely
So
correct.
it will be.
Whenever an attempt is made to look inside my body with the help of some waves, then it is called as diagnostic. It could be sound wave, it could be radio waves, it could be any other kind of a wave, or even the light waves. But whenever they are trying to look inside my body, it is diagnostic. If they are getting the idea about the disease by looking from the outside features of my body, it is not considered or called as diagnostic. And these are the features. I believe you know all these features. Acha, what is this dark room, beta?
Sir, dark room is used for X-ray.
Why? How?
Sir,
Because
X-ray
I
films are
have been
developed.
through couple of X-rays couple of times, and then I never saw any part dark in the X-ray room.
Sir,
मेरा खुद
X-ray
का एक्सरे
films
हुआ है
are
दो एक
developed
बार.
in the dark room.
है बच्चे?
Sir, X-ray films are developed in the dark room.
Yes. The part where the films are developed is dark room. But these were general questions because मुझे पता है ये आज वाला part तुम लोगों को सारा पहले से आता है. So I am only asking the most general questions that you kids should be memorized in a faster manner. OPD. and there is some specifications regarding the dimensions of the room. Can you tell me why these dimensions are necessary to be maintained? Because whatever we are discussing till now in operating environment, we are being given the information regarding the dimensions of the rooms or facilities. So why maintaining these dimensions are important? 7.5 square kilometer, 11 square meter. Why these dimensions are very important? What would happen if I have an examination room which is having the width of 7 square meter and length of 9 square meter? What harm would it do? Well, ultimately, it's gonna save space for me. I can have in out of those 10 consultancy chambers, I can create 11 consultancy chambers by reducing the dimensions of these rooms slightly lesser. And 11 chambers means 11 doctors. 11 doctors means more patient. 11 doctors means more specialization. So all those things look apparently good if we are able to reduce these dimensions slightly lesser.
So the movement might be compromised.
See, there is a contention. Yes, it is a correct observation that movement might be compromised. There is a contention that the expert should be able to view or visualize the features of the patient who has come to the outpatient departments or has come to the doctor for a general consultation, because it is the requirement of a doctor to try ascertaining the, because patients are not always able to explain the problems that they are facing. Patients might feel the trouble of language, patients might feel hesitated, patients might feel embarrassed. So doctors are psychologically trained to look at the patient and start making intelligent guesses about the physical condition of the patients. For that matter, certain dimensions are given in the rooms so that they can see the movement, so that they can even move around to look at the patient more closely, so that they can view how the patient is gonna behave under if the patient or doctor asks them to make certain movements or body movements. All those things are possible only if the room has a certain specified or pre-specified dimensions. And then administration area, offices, डायटरी फैसिलिटीज यू किड्स ऑल नो. मुझे इसके अंदर लगता नहीं कि ऐसा कुछ खास मैं नया बताऊंगा इसके अंदर. दीज आर कॉमन नॉलेजेस हैव बीन गिवन टू यू फ्रॉम फर्स्ट सेमेस्टर. लिनन सर्विस ऑप्शनल है. ये हॉस्पिटलिटी का पार्ट है which has recently started featuring in the hospitals. Hospitality industry is basically taking care of the housekeeping department. Housekeeping department was not that much of a prominent thing within the hospital some 10-15 years ago. Now the housekeeping department has started featuring in the hospitals. And then linen services is again recently it has started featuring, but yes, linen services is becoming the important part of the healthcare system. Otherwise, the only thing that was required out of the housekeeping department within the hospital was to provide clean bed sheets and to keep the floors clean, and to keep the those waste bins as clean as much as possible. And if at any point of time any patient creates any mess within the ward, then the housekeeping department was able to or should be able to clean that mess as soon as possible and keep the patients away from the infections caused by one another. That was the only requirement from the hospital department earlier. But now, even these linen services have taken importance within the hospitals. The quality of bed sheets to the quality of rugs being used within the ward have started featuring more, and hospitals are actually able to advertise these services primarily wherever they are trying to advertise the services of the hospital. This part again is known to you, that passageway should be such that instructions are visible clearly. The patient, after looking at the passageway, should be able to know where he has to go or where his concerned expert is going to be found. Not much to discuss. But let's see what these four segments are. Can anybody tell me? Because ये हम लोग पहले डिस्कस कर चुके हैं. Now we are only gonna see how these systems are being reintroduced into our discussion right now within the operating environment. All these four subsegments we already know. Service and facility, devices and equipment, insurance and medical, pharmaceutical and related segments. These are the only four segments which are required within the hospital, and they create the operating environment within the hospital. And I guess I am over with this part today. We will devote our next class to the Ansoff matrix. I am sorry मैं उसको आज prepare नहीं कर पाया हूँ, but I'm gonna prepare the Ansoff matrix, and from next class onwards we will be discussing Ansoff matrix, and either in next class or next to next class we'll be finishing our syllabus. And now is the time for all of you
सर
to हाँ बता
इम्पोर्टेंट क्वेश्चन सर देंगे क्या?
बच्चे. मैं बताऊं, देख असल में प्रॉब्लम इस कोरोना ने ऐसा कर दिया है कि हम सब लोगों ने ना करीब 180 नहीं 235 क्वेश्चंस हम लोगों ने आईटी में
हाँ
पोस्ट किए हैं, जिसके
जी
अंदर
सर
1 मार्क क्वेश्चन कुछ 80 क्वेश्चंस हैं, 2 मार्क क्वेश्चन कुछ 40 क्वेश्चंस हैं, एंड 4 मार्क्स क्वेश्चन कुछ 32 कुछ ऐसी क्वेश्चंस है 4 मार्क्स, right? And then
हाँ
IT
सर
cell is gonna select the questions randomly out of this bank. Certain questions from 1 mark, certain questions from 2 mark, and certain questions from 4 mark. तो मेरे पास वो क्वेश्चंस तो जरूर हैं, मैं वो क्वेश्चंस तुम लोगों को सेंड भी कर दूंगा अगर तुम लोग कहोगे तो. विद आंसर
जी
और
सर
विदाउट आंसर मैं वो भी कर सकता हूँ, लेकिन मैं ये नहीं बता सकता बेटा कि कंप्यूटर कौन से क्वेश्चन चूज करेगा.
ठीक है सर
ठीक
सर
है,
आप वही दे दीजिए हमें सर.
ठीक है
हम
बेटा.
विदाउट
मैं
आंसर देंगे तब भी चलेगा. हम नहीं
चलेगा विद आंसर भी चलेगा चलेगा सर. आप अगर विदाउट भी देंगे वो भी चलेगा, पर सब
कितने
पूरा दे
कितने
दीजिए सर प्लीज
कितने
सर.
कितने
हम लोग
खराब हो ना
पढ़
तुम लोग.
के
मैं रोज
निकाल
तुमसे
लेंगे.
कहता हूँ थोड़ी सी बातचीत कर लो, कभी नहीं बोलते हो. क्वेश्चन पेपर की बात आती है सारे एक साथ बोलने लगते हो. कितने खराब हो ना तुम लोग.
सर मैं बोलती हूँ.
हाँ तू बोलती है बेटा, तेरे से कोई शिकायत नहीं है. मैं बाकी बच्चों से कह रहा हूँ कि सारे कितने खराब है.
सर
मैं रोज कहता हूँ, कई कई बार कहता हूँ प्लीज यस और नो तो बोल दो, एक भी नहीं बोलता है ना. मैं बेटा भेज दूंगा. मैं आज मैं चेक करता हूँ मेरे पास कहाँ पे है, वो निकाल के मैं तुम लोग को भेजता हूँ. ठीक है,
ठीक है सर
चलो.
ठीक है
थैंक
सर.
यू सर
थैंक यू
बाय,
सर.
टेक केयर.
बाय सर.
बाय सर